I might be wrong about when that happened, but it's actually, I think, part of why she has that sort of conversation, and she seems to be kind of relieved when you say something like that. So, I think there's probably more to say with
Irving
her,
told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
You're talking about Joan.
None other. I respect the decision you made, and the way you handled it. And it did not seem to affect Duncan's desire to recruit you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you.
If I was there, perhaps I could have prevented...
And perhaps you would be dead now. Thinking such things is neither productive nor good for your soul. You can agonize about how you should have been at the tower, or you can imagine that you weren't there because you had to be elsewhere. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to, that it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I like these little talks with Lynn.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means I've been chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
But the Grey Wardens bow to no one.
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
Yeah, that's pretty relevant to things today. So in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Aw, but I like Wynn's talks. There might be a few, like one or two more, maybe.
Is there something you need?
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The Circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I wanted to make sure you really wanted this.
No, of course I don't. I'm old and unsure of what I'm doing. Actually, I'd rather be in a warm chair in the sun, being served pudding or some other easily digestible food.
I want to say the last one, but like jokingly, and I don't know if it'd be taken jokingly. I'm gonna say it. Well, that could be arranged.
Well, get on it then, and make sure there's a blanket in my chair, and that it's soft, and that the pudding doesn't have cream on it. Cream gives me gas.
There we go.
Is there something you need?
Alright, I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
So much talking. How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
What about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
He was lucky. I would have done much worse to him.
And you would have seen yourself trussed up like a festival turkey and paraded about the square for it. Village folk have little love for witches like us. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
Little did you know it was just a prettied up prison.
Prison? You could see it that way. But those walls are there to keep non-mages out, as much as to keep mages in. I learned very quickly that for every apprentice in the tower, there was probably one who never even lived to see the Templars come. No child, not even a mage child, is a match for an angry mob trying to place blame for a failed crop, a hard winter, a baby born dead.
Those people should know better.
Superstition and fear is what makes these people behave in this manner. It will be a good long time before that changes. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the circle.
It's been a while since I left the tower.
It has been almost a year, hasn't it? Do you miss the tower at all?
Of course not. I'm glad to be rid of that place.
I see. You can take a mage out of the circle, but you can't take the circle out of the mage. Or so Irving used to say. He was joking, but there is some truth to the statement. A mage never really leaves the circle, and for the rest of your life you will be seen as a circle mage.
But I'm a Grey Warden now.
But you will always be a mage, especially in the eyes of others. You represent both mages and Grey Wardens, and your actions may reflect well or badly on both groups. Remember that.
I'll do what's right and I don't care what other people think.
That is commendable, but one's principles are often subtly influenced by others, though you may be unconscious of it. The only thing one can do is to be aware that this is a possibility, and ask yourself often why you do what you do. Oh, but listen to me go on. You start a conversation, and I just run away with it, don't I?
At least you don't repeat yourself like other old people.
Oh, yes. One must be thankful for small mercies.
Aww. Well, in any case, I think we're done now talking to people, except maybe Alistair. He's probably only got maybe one or two extra conversations.
Maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon, and when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
Logan will get what's coming to him, I promise you.
No, I know that. That's not what I'm talking about. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But, after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim.
Have you contacted her?
No. I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
What are you expecting she will do?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything about her except her name and where she lives. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Okay. How
Something
about...
on your mind? Of course.
Okay. We've talked enough. Although... You see, you can still ask this as a guy? I thought it was kind of just a female thing? Okay. Well, let's do this anyway. If you're raising the Chantry, have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
You know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
Sex.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, if you really want to know, you tell me first.
Okay, so in the books / lore, I do believe they pretty much said that the mages in the tower can be quite they were quite friendly with each other, so headcanon is... Tell you what, of course I have.
And apparently you have no shame as well. Well, alright, I'll play along. I, myself, never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know.
Oh, I see, you lack the proper parts.
Oh, that's funny. Your cruel japes will be remembered, sir. If you hear sobbing later, that's me crying myself to sleep.
At least you'll get some decent rest.
Ha ha ha. Your cruel interrogation will be remembered forever. Or maybe just until lunch. Lunch makes everything better. Oh, look, I have cheese.
Oh, I love Alistair. Alistair and Wynne, and I suppose Morrigan when I'm a male. They're like my favorite. Alright, let's get back to Redcliffe. Although, what time is it? It's... okay, maybe I should just go back to the camp and finish off with talking. I don't know.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I don't know. I could go to the castle? There's like nothing going on at the castle, so... Alright. Oh, jeez. Look at him, he's just standing there like, oh, you're back? Yeah, you're back yet? Well, I can at least get some of these quests started there. Like, I have to talk to the blacksmith, and then there's, the girl in the... There's this guy, there's the girl in the chantry. So I still have some little things that I can keep doing. There's this guy here
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Ban Tegan is to see you here. I must admit that I do not quite know how to address you. Is my lord sufficient?
Call me Grey Warden, for that's what I am.
Grey Warden it is then, and thank you kindly. I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost.
You mentioned something about an urn?
When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, our lesser Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferelden. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here.
Just what was the Arl sick with?
We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. We brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish.
Why did the Arlessa believe anyone could find the urn?
The Arl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferelden, or so I was told.
Can no one find the other knights and bring them back?
Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks.
So the knights left the castle defenseless?
Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood.
I want to discuss something else.
As you wish.
Is there anything I can do for you?
We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered.
Oh dear. I'll see what I can do.
That gladdens my heart to hear it.
Carry on.
As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy for divine holy protection.
Ooh, the windmill. I once took a ride on the sails of a windmill. Didn't turn out well.
I wonder why. Well, if anything, I can sell that, because it's probably not any good for Alistair, since he's got something kinda, specialized for himself? Let's see here. Yeah, no. Mage robes. I can probably sell those. Yeah. And... is that actually... oh, Jesus, no. I can't put anything on more